Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our bold analysis. The political script for all the politicians when you face an election is you must always make sure you breathe hope to the Kenyan voter. Hope for people to be uplifted from poverty. Hope for people doing business to get profits in the coming days. Hope for better health care and good roads in the next government. And because of this dire need, politicians have crafted different ways of arousing the emotions of the voter. And I think it is the obligation of the Kenyan voter to look at the veracity and the character of Mr. Politician. Because otherwise, they are going to be caged in what I can call politics of deception. And I want us just to face the real fact here. Deception is one when someone is lying by omission. For example, I am telling you that for you to make 100,000, you need to put a capital of 50,000. What I am omitting is what you will do with that 50,000 within your business space to make 100,000. I am lying to you. There is also the half-truths. Why you are saying something, on the other side, it's the truth. On the other side, it is not the truth. Very interesting, and we are going to see how this is playing in the political space. There is also the politics of lying for the sake of the truth. The truth is Johnson Sakaja degree certificate from Uganda, from Tim's University in Uganda, is questionable, and that's why it is vulnerable to such scrutiny. That is the truth. But for the sake of kufunika the truth, you must now bring a lie. And the lie must be that one, Raila Odinga's degree is fake, and so even that of Sakaja is fake. That because President Uhuru Kenyatta do not want Sakaja to be the governor, Sakaja's certificate is not fake. That is it. However, I don't want us to look at that. I want to play for you these two clips, and let me call them scripts, or rather skits. One is Deputy President William Samoei Ruto speaking in Busia with the boda boda operator. I want to look at this video and pay attention. Look at the person is introducing himself as the chairman of boda boda, but was putting on a UDA shirt. And also look at the way the message is delivered, because it's going to help us get the gist of this analysis. Before I do that, ladies and gentlemen, kindly subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so that when we publish these videos, you will be notified. Let's head to Busia.
Mimi ambaye ni chairman wa bodaboda, sisi tuna shida kwa sababu hawa bodaboda ukiwaona wameajiriwa, na tulitengeneza proposal ikaja kwa ofisi yako. Kwa hivyo iangalie vizuri, alafu utuangalie ili usaidie bodaboda wetu wasiendelee kuajiriwa.
Okay, asante sana Bwana Sumba. Wewe ngoja hapa nikueleze. Simama hapo. Si wewe umesikia vile nimesema hapa. Nimesema mwaka huu tunaweka bilioni 50 pesa ya serikali. Sio Busia, sio kule Butula. Hiyo pesa tutalete mpaka Marachi East. Ili wewe mtu ya bodaboda uende uchukue hiyo pesa, ununue bodaboda yako na ulipe ile pesa bila ya riba, bila ya interest yoyote. Unanielewa? Tunaelewana? vile vile mama mboga, vile vile wale wengine wa chini, ndio kila mtu biashara yake tusaidie ainuke. Mimi nauliza wewe, so unajua pikipiki ni shilingi 1,100, lakini ukienda kulipa unalipa karibu shilingi 250. Sasa hiyo pikipiki itakuwa shilingi hiyo 100 peke yake, ile 250 haitakuwa tena. Unanielewa my friend?
Now, that was a rally. It was a public rally in somewhere in Busia. I want to dissect that video a bit. This guy, after kuongea, he wanted to leave. But because there was already a skit to deliver that pledge of 50 billion to that constituency. And in this analysis, I am actually targeting, looking at the 50 billion pledge for Mwamboga, mtu wa boda boda, and the small business people there. It is really, I just want to ask, if you are to give 50 billion to a constituency, we have 290 constituencies, just do your own math. It's a ridiculous amount of money. And I wanted to understand it better. I want us to go to the other clip. This was, I think, Economic Forum in Nyandarua. And it was another scripted, stage-managed delivery of, or rather the pledge of another 50 billion. So I think this will help us have understanding on what Deputy President William Ruto really sees in his mind.
Tengeneza serikali inayokuja, tunatengeneza hazina maalum, yes, ya wafanyabiashara wadogo, yes, wale mahasla, kama wewe.
Mimi ni hasla.
Tunaweka na tutaweka pesa ya serikali bilioni 50. Na tukigawa hiyo pesa itakuja kama constituency hii ya Nyandarua, constituency hii ya Oduor. Kwanza hapa Nyandarua tutakuwa na karibu shilingi milioni 750 kila mwaka.
Wow. Wow.
Alafu kila constituency itakuwa na karibu shilingi milioni 150. Na hiyo pesa tunataka ipatianwe pale sokoni. Sokoni, kama soko yenu hiyo soko mjinga, tuweke pale kama ni milioni 5 ama milioni 10, ni yenu sasa ya kukopa. Na hakuna interest, unakopa, unatumia, unarudisha.
Thank you.
Tunaelewana?
Tunaelewana.
Kila mtu apate pesa ya kuinua hiyo biashara.
Thank you.
Na unajua ni kwa sababu gani tunafanya hivyo, Mama Maria?
Sema.
Tunafanya hivyo.
So that is what Ruto is talking about. I dare ask, is it realistic? I'm not an economist, but I think in the course of next week, I'll try to have a sit down with someone who understands the issues about economy so that we can break it down. But in the light of what you're understanding, I listened to CS Matiangi speaking to a group of clergy, some clergy, and was asking them a question. How Deputy President William Ruto is going to manage giving people all those millions. And he asked this question.
That after the COVID-19 pandemic, now the new pandemic we are dealing with is the pandemic of lies. Yeah. It's the pandemic of lies. You know, people stand up and they say things that they think make sense. You know, I've been looking at politicians, and fortunately I have the opportunity of having served in cabinet. I know how a budget is drawn, and I know how much money we have in our resources to draw a budget. When a political leader, a national leader tells people, I will put aside 150 billion for market women, I'll put aside 50 billion for boda boda, I'll put aside 100 billion for this. I know how much our budget is and the projected growth of our budget. That time we have not talked about the amount of money that you are taking to counties. You have not talked about transfers for the education sector and so on. Where are you going to get that money to provide that kind of service? You're just lying to those people because you are telling them things they want to hear. And because they won't ask you questions, you just get along with it.
This is where we are. A situation where money is just being thrown, money is just to be given to people. And that's why I started by saying that the politics is about breathing hope to Kenyans. I see it in a different perspective, because what might be happening here is that the Kenya Kwanza team, there is the economy aspect, the people who really understands what the model is. I even want to understand that the politicians are not so much conversant with it and how it will be done. However, the economy team have only stuck to the bottom-up economic model, but it is purely becoming difficult on how that model can be connected to the need of voters. In simple terms, the messaging of arousing emotions of voters is difficult. And because they're not finding a clear way to execute the idea, they have resorted to go for the coin, because you know that people want the money. I am not saying that the model cannot be implemented, but if you talk to people, you talk to economists, you just talk to your people within your circle, you will understand that it is more complex, but the deputy president has simplified it to as simple as just giving people money in the markets, going to stages and giving people money to buy motorbikes and that. Honestly, even if government was to help, we know there is per capitation that goes to schools and the teachers are paid salaries and all that. Would you think that government was just going to give someone 100,000? You're not returning it with any interest, of course, maybe. And what is the model of government recovering that money? That is why I started by saying lies, deception by omission. The boda guy in Busia is not being told, so ukipewa 100,000, how are you going to return that money? Leave alone where that money is coming from. Maybe it's coming from somewhere, but utarudisha aje. Now as we talk, Karachi Breweries is being shut down because of really a problem that has emerged on settling the debts, or on settling of their taxes, pending taxes. So this is something that is actually being peddled to voters clearly without deep understanding. They don't understand, but because people need to have money, it's as simple as telling them we're going to put money in the marketplaces, as if chief is going to sit down with the money. But then many people have interpreted the billion allocation as just a futuristic approach to the economy, and many have also seen that the Deputy President William Ruto is speaking from a very unique corner, that he's not so much oblivious of the real state of the economy. Now I want to challenge that by saying, I see a deputy president who, if takes over power, will not have an element of continuity. The government now has a lot of pending projects that are going on, infrastructural projects that are pending, and even deputy president is now promising one road after the other. Everywhere he's telling them that give us priority, just write for us the list, which road you want to start with, we are going to start it. While the end of the day, there is what is already there. What will most likely happen in the event that deputy president wins and becomes the 5th president, then they are not going to have an element of continuity. That is going to bring a lot of, or that is going to create what I can say as an internal rebellion or instability in the economy. But let me go first for the rebellion. The rebellion will emerge because if DP Ruto is sworn in, 2 days into the office, he will actually know that, okay, look here, the funds in our what is in our consolidated fund and even the equalization fund cannot be enough to start dishing people money. He's promised that in the first 300 days you're going to give these people money. What you will actually see is if he tries to make a tour somewhere and maybe just going to launch a road, he'll be reminded, ulisema pesa. You know, and when you trap people by money, it's not very effective. Honestly, you cannot just give people money that way. However, the perception of lies are posturing before the voters to do what the Nyandarua woman was saying. Wow. You know, it's just for wowing voters. but this is what I say is investing in vulnerability of Mr. Voter or Madam Voter. Those two videos are played for you. If you are keen, there is some sort of conformity. It was a skit that was well executed. It's like the woman in Nyandarua was already told alikuwa na vayo kitu. Then if you listen to that clip, the whole clip is 12 minutes. She was saying that wewe kama hustler ambao umeuza kuku, nataka nikue kama wewe. You understand? Now, when Deputy President was talking, she was not talking to that woman, but she was using that woman as a way of delivering the message to the audience. To someone who is back there in the village, anaona bas, this is the new way. But the truth of the matter, that is what is happening. Same to what is going on in the Busia clip. The chairman of the Boda Boda did not come from nowhere. He was actually putting on a UDA t-shirt. This means he might have sat there with maybe Ole Tumbi or someone to plan on what he's going to do, and then Deputy President will use him as the example to talk to the voter. I want to repeat here, the politics of deception. It will take Mr. Voter, it will take the voter to ask the pertinent questions. Just the same questions that Matiangi was asking. Where are those billions? And that is my bold analysis.